TV Ghana, Matilda and sir.
There was this particular post by Oye Ghana Remembers on Twitter. Now, in fact, said John Domani Mahama, the former president, so would Amadia, say NDC folk pay for Amadia, or but as a central MPP for work there. Say, over 2024 elections, Obayatin, I'm a former president John Domani Mahama. Upon ye biara ebinya, na edibu to anamon, na edibu edibiza abo 1 month for biara. Although ye may be a sabi, autumn no queen, no sipping no sita. Now, also there, the Nanado government has shared the national cake. In the national cake, the Kasika Kakra generates as a result of find a revenue mobilization. If your taxes get now you to me church and be a region the to me the national cake. It's a bit so modo. It's one of them here, one of the initiatives here, free SHS. Agenda 111, one district, one factory, one district, one ambulance, one V1D, one constituency, one astroturf, year of fruits, in NHIS, in free TVET, in no guarantor loan, student loan. That is now we are also in restoration of training allowance, in school feeding program, in youth start, in Zongo development fund, in free compulsory universal basic education. That was being done by Oye MPP about time of battle power, and even some of them was started by Oye Kufo, just a few of them. And another Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in Kenya.
Our history, Ghana is
the post in fact, or show day, you may be recorded within Ghana. Now, this one, in there. Or the capitalist and socialist, which is NDC, MPP, NDC, new there. In Yama or NDC,
first time in our history.
Or catch out there, you may be recorded. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia can send be or Oye drones or Ghana menu. Now, NDC for one to be there. Now, you there, want to be the Nano. 1 year didn't know one tell you. Why ya or can send me. I will maintain some Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia or Kenwa or your medical drones for Ghana menu.
First time in our history, Ghana is implementing one district, one factory. For the first time in our history, Ghana has drones for medical delivery, and Ghana is the world's largest medical drone delivery service.
Ghana is the largest medical drone service country in the world. Ghana poor young fine she there NDC for it has the largest medical drone delivery in the world, the largest. On an order of catch out there, you may be called Ghana. How you see as Dr. Mahmoud or catch it.
And Ghana is the world's largest medical drone delivery service. For the first time in our history, Ghana has successfully issued a digital national ID card. For the first time in our history, Ghana has implemented a digital property address system. For the first time in our history, Ghana has mobile money interoperability. For the first time in our history, over 80% of adults in Ghana have a tax identification number. For the first time in our history, Ghana is implementing one district, one hospital under Agenda 111. For the first time in our history, we have digitized passport acquisition. For the first time in our history, we have digitized the process of obtaining a driver's license. For the first time in our history, Ghanaians can renew their NHIS membership from their mobile phone. For the first time in our history, government is implementing a pension scheme for cocoa farmers. For the first time in our history, Ghanaians were provided free electricity for lifetime consumers for a year during the COVID-19 pandemic. For the first time in our history, Ghanaians were provided free water for a year during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. For the first time in our history, government has provided free Wi-Fi to 700 senior high schools, 42 colleges of education. For the first time in our history, government has implemented one constituency, one ambulance. For the first time in our history, government has established Zongo Development Fund. For the first time in our history, We have built more roads in our first term than any first term government in the Fourth Republic, and we are continuing. For the first time in our history, we are implementing free TVET, and we have established the Ghana TVET service.
Che, Daman Zimbabwe for the first time in our history in Ghana, for the first time in our history in Ghana, or can be beach out there. If say a particular Oidama will break record, Oidama, Guinness Book of Record, no, the MPP about Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the Oidama, Wafa then World Cup because Oide, they just want to make sure that why you're the first. Also, there you have to be the first and second to none. And for them, they have chosen to be first. Oh no, my goodness, you don't know. She Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia kaka concern bebree Ghana card sisi ano sikita Ghana card na say student a ekwa kaji loan na za to asuade hun anade suapon na ewo mu no abade etuado because of the fact into mun tuado nti bibi wa to ntumu no nje school fees I pay student loan na ochina nyi edwuma ye na ochira wa set we film kete first no na say nyi Ghana card a ode kokko hwe guarantor the December baby basisiano in guarantee to no a pass through. This is what we mean about what you are talking about. What you know? I'll make some Dr. Mamuba also so can
6 years. Let me recall that our government in the last 6 years has created more jobs than any other government in the Fourth Republic. Let me recall that we have constructed more roads than any other government in the Fourth Republic. Let me recall.
As an own, say I can't net chichi maybe by oida masabi, a pede, a dibi come. As an say nipana a cat near Bejedi. In a coffee baby oma, but Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia didn't be ibzini be cry be. And so one gets us over when you are better than us. Then we are Macom. And ya kunya better as by vice, Abatar as a president. Into my BBR farm, and then Rebecca Bibi. And then Rebecca Bibi.
In the Fourth Republic. Let me recall that we have built more interchanges than any other government in the Fourth Republic. And let me say that we have built more airports than any other government, more railways than any other government. We have built more classrooms than any.
We have built than any other republic there, setting the record straight, making sure them Horian, it is the first of its kind. I mean, the baby, I am the there, yenya bana, ordin to memophone, yenya bana, otumunu, or consider that that might the moment for we ya check. It's a minion among farmer one, and ye be a pado oba abandonment the keke. There, Samaya monas are also my appreciation. A bama mats nabanima. I mean, it's the best I can do. Only show there, so what trouble with them are. One day be because of your elections in the area, or then ya at this be at sebi, in ya banuma, ngofun wakaya wakada no adi, oche. This is what we mean about good governance. Nenge, more ye, more come or ye, and then with it, there may be one of my dream book and task, but you know, I am piano to talk to a day, sometimes book and task simple, but no besibiano. As in Kwani is a babble. Maybe we will be something more. And with that, there are a lot of oil dama problems. I remember there were certain oil NDC MPs in Pokrana who be one time again. And one kwabe. I remember them a year bit of a video of Kaka once and Kaka. Now, and with that, painful of NDC, who to way or gather one. No way MPs walk Jubilee House. And I don't know Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Nado. No Kadana said again, one or someone I want be. Na wasra one day or woman won the and I don't Dr. Mahmoud no pool to the man. Bisa there. So your former president John Domani Mahama in the NPP or Kwana so the Oman project in Kotubamanana. It should tell you that they are quarter so Bamon a tama or Mazana Bissede. Mamma crowd now into million tournament. Now I know sometimes but I'm a crowd crowd because sometimes I do Humbukana or ye because I can't buy the dodo. Even the airports now sometimes it's very hard for you to even try to close the video because the kind of developmental project that NPP will make sure that we're fruiting now. It tells you very clearly there they are up to something. I always want to make sure that this is being noised about, but then maybe I sit in. Obi and I don't. I'm a cry. Now, my chili, then take